this is Charles Fockaert on November the 10th, 2017. This is the unofficial Veterans Day, and this is number 24, I believe, in the series On the Road with Charles Fockaert. And I want to welcome everyone. Thank you for supporting this channel. There's a lot to say, but I'm going to try to keep it short because I know that the shorter the video, the more watches, the more views I'm going to get. But hey, you know, you can't say everything that needs to be said in a short video. And I don't have an agenda here, and I'm not trying to get a lot of subscribers and all that other stuff like some other channels. And I'm going to talk about that here in a minute if I don't forget. I don't work off a script. Maybe I have an outline here, but this is I have an outline here that I might look at every once in a while, but this morning I don't have that. I'm just going to do it off the cuff, shoot from the hip. And this is a shot I took this morning about an hour ago. The sunrise coming out over the east. And these are chemtrails, folks. They were up earlier than I was this morning, and they're laying down these chemtrails. And, you know, I don't have a fancy video recorder so that I can be outside with the Rocky Mountains in my background and work off of a prompter. So I'm just I'm a low budget operation here. But you know, the difference between me and that other clown, the guy that wears that clown suit and walks around with the crucifix, you know, his expense account, the last time I checked, was 2015 on Form 990 was $42,000. I'm going to pause this for a minute and figure out how much that is per week. Yeah, I just checked that. That's over $800 a week. And some of you brain dead critics, the shills that come on here and criticize me because I go after that Esau Edomite. You know what I could do with $800 a week? And you think he's exposing the Zionist and all that crap. He's a disinformation agent, folks. He mixes in with his truth lies. And we don't need an Esau Edomite to tell us how bad and how much the Esau Edomites have ruined this world, the world we live in, do we? But you know, I'm not going to make this video on that clown. He's a bozo. And a lot of you people don't get it, and I don't think you ever will, because you don't have eyes to see and ears to hear. Anyway, this is not stratospheric aerosol injections, as the CIA says, and these are not chemtrails, and there's nothing to worry about because John Testor, Senator John Testor, in an email that I sent him, he told me not to worry about them, not to be concerned, because those are contrails, Charles, and I got your back. Don't worry about it. And thank God for men like John Testor back there in Washington D.C. and they represent us, and they're looking after our best interests. Isn't that wonderful? Thank God. Now, if those really were geoengineering and chemtrails, I might be a little concerned, but because I know how to use a map and a compass, see? And I put the compass on top of the map, and I orient it like you're supposed to. And guess where those those contrails are? It's a good thing those contrails evaporate, because those contrails, and I'm just going by the word of John Testor, and he wouldn't lie to me, those contrails are directly over the top of Lake Mead. And Hoover Dam area. And then also Lake Mojave. And that supplies the water for how many millions of people there in Southern California? But hey, John Testor told us not to worry about it. Those are not chemtrails, folks. Not to worry. I want to give another plug here to my friend Dan Johns. He's got a podcast there on Eurofolk Radio. And if you want to get more of the Israelite identity message, I can't think of a better place to go. There are others, but they seem to like to create friction a lot more than they do unity, despite their talk about loving the brothers and all that blah blah blah. See, it's a sad thing that the Israelite identity community isn't more united. I think part of it has to do with the scarcity of funds. We haven't got the ability to create the medium of exchange out of thin air, so nobody really wants to promote anybody else because they're afraid that the support. But you know what? My support comes from Yahweh. He could give me $1 million or $10 million tomorrow, and he gives me exactly what he wants me to have. And my God Yahweh shall supply all of my need according to his riches. He owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. And so I'm not concerned about where the support's going to come from, but look how much more we could do if just 100 people would forego their 24-pack of Bud Light for a month. But whenever I talk about money, some of you shills jump up. Oh, you're begging for money. You're begging for money. No, I'm not begging for money. I'm not begging for anything. I'm just giving you an opportunity to store up some riches in heaven, because when this is all said and done and the smoke clears and the what do you call those, the credits at the end of the movie are shown, you could make a deposit in the eternal bank account. But hey, that's up to you. And there's a lot more here I want to get to. At the end of this video here, I got another song, number 2. I think it's called You Can't Stop. I got permission from Daryl Barr himself to use his songs on these videos, and I would encourage you, I'm going to put his email somewhere on this video where you can contact Daryl Barr, and it'll only take you a couple minutes. Contact Daryl Barr and maybe express your thanks for him allowing us to use his music on our videos. And perhaps you would ask him if you can buy his CD. This man is an excellent artist. He's, if he was an Esau Edomite, he'd probably be very famous like Bob Dylan, who sold his soul to the devil to get where he got to. And, you know, that's the least we could do, is support these people in a small way by supporting their work, their CDs, their books. You know, let go of that, forego that cafe au latte for a week or so, and put some of your funds in the eternal bank account, okay? Hey, it's Veterans Day here. I went down to Overton yesterday and uploaded several videos in the series. And I picked up, the big deal here tomorrow is a parade, a Veterans Day parade, because we got to support our troops. Yep, our troops are fighting for our freedom. Our freedom to be homosexual, our freedom to be involved in pornography, our freedom to allow the country to be invaded by non-Caucasians. Man, we got so much freedom in this country. It's just unbelievable. You know, never mind that I've lived in other countries that I felt and were actually freer than I am in my own country. Never had to look over my shoulder when I was in these other countries, especially Thailand. Never was concerned about the police. Uh, you know, but hey, that's a whole. I don't want to upset any of you veterans because um, you've been you've been brainwashed since day one, thinking that you're fighting for your country and the fellow Americans, and we have to support you, and no matter what you do and where you go, and 16 years there in Afghanistan to guard them poppy plants. But hey, that's not what you're there for. You're there fighting for our freedom because that was the headquarters of Bin Laden back there a long time ago in that cave. Remember that, where he pulled off 9/11? Wow, this guy was a genius. Never mind that he died in a hospital in Dubai in 2001 of kidney failure. It was all over the news in the Middle East in Arabic language, but you weren't told that, were you? And I met a guy when I first came back here to the United States when I was down in Missoula, Montana, which is probably the most liberal place in Montana. Got that school down there, and maybe next to Bozeman. But anyway, I was down there in Missoula, and I went to this little Judeo-Christian church and trying to make friends and fit in and assimilate back into the American culture after 13 years abroad. And this young man couldn't find a job, and he had a wife and two young, beautiful children, and he was going off. He's going to Iraq, fight for his country, support our troops. And I got to talking to him. You know, this is before he knew where I was coming from, and I said, "Have you ever heard of a Marine called Smedley Butler?" No, no, no. I said, "Well, you've been in the military all this time. You never heard of Smedley Butler?" No, no. You ever read his book called War is a Racket? No, no, never read it. So that was when I had a printer, and I got online and I printed out that entire book for him. And the next time I saw him there in the Judeo-Christian church, I handed him this book in an envelope, and I said, "Hey, you might want to read that." A couple weeks later, when I saw him there in that Judeo-Christian church, you know, the Jews are the chosen ones, he wouldn't talk to me. Nope, he wouldn't talk to me, and that reminds me of a quote here in Jean Raspel. I hope I'm saying that right, and even if I'm not, doesn't matter, because nowadays nothing is as frightening as the truth. We got these big macho Marines and going to kick some ass. We're going to kick some non-white ass over there in Iraq and Syria and Iran and Afghanistan, and then we're going to invite them all over here to our own country, and we're going to put our arms around them, and we're going to hug them and kiss them and give them Section 8 and the SNAP program and the EBT card, and we're going to set them up in the business, and we're going to go over there and kick their ass, and then we're going to allow them to invade our country over here. Man, oh man, isn't that just a wonderful way that our government and how our troops are serving the American people. So anyway, back to this parade tomorrow. I'm going to go down there. It starts at 10 o'clock right on Main Street. They're going to block off the whole damn street. Nobody can get through. And they're going to parade down the Main Street, and then they're going to go to the park, and I'm going to get me a free hamburger, and I'm going to mingle with locals here, and I'm hoping I don't get my ass kicked, because I'm going to have to keep my I'm going to have to bite my tongue, but it's going to be entertaining. It's going to be the most entertaining thing I've done in quite a while, and I'm going to report back here what if I don't get my ass kicked and end up in the hospital, because, man, don't you dare tell a Vietnam vet that he went to Vietnam for the wrong reasons, that when he was in Vietnam fighting, Esau Edomite Kissinger was in having a secret powwow with Cho Wen Lao or whoever it was, so they could transfer all of our manufacturing capabilities, all of our infrastructure to China. See, we did the New World Order, we did the globalist, we did the internationalist a favor. See, and while you were in there fighting in the jungles of Vietnam and getting sprayed with Agent Orange to fight communists from the domino effect, old Kissinger was there, and he flew in on probably maybe even a special plane and first class, and he got the best hotel there in Beijing, and you're out there in the jungle getting jungle crotch rot and getting hooked on drugs. But hey, when you went home, you got to stop over in Tokyo and buy that Sony music system, and back then it was cassettes, and so you came home with a new stereo system, and you're just happy as can be. There's so much more here, but I'm gonna cut her there, folks. Thank God that those aren't geo engineering out there, and thank God those are only contrails over Lake Mead and all that water supply. And thank God that our government has got the military out there killing all those people that just hate our freedoms, Thank God. God bless America, and God blesses those who bless Israel. And hey, if you don't support the Israelite identity, at least give your money to John Hagee, because he's going to give it to Israel, and they need it. Those people, those criminals over there in Israel and Tel Aviv and Netanyahu, they need your money. Yeah, they really do. They got the whole Middle East wants to blow them up. Yep, and so they need your support. I want to thank you for supporting this channel. And I don't mean to say, yes, I do. That's tongue-in-cheek. But anyway, thank you for supporting this channel. May the grace of God, the real God, Yahweh, our Father, the creator of the level earth. There is no space. We never went to the moon, despite what you've been told. There is no gravity. May His grace be upon us all, for we certainly need it. See ya!
You can't stop the sun from shining. You can't stop the moon from its glow. I can't stop the way I feel about you. You can't stop the rain from falling. You can't stop the river from its flow. I can't stop the way I feel about you.